Hello everyone. How are you enjoying your Wolf King GTR? Let's go over some of the programming and the display and how to use it. This is just a screen cover that came on this screen. I haven't taken it off yet, but you can see it will come off if I pull there. I'll just leave that on for now and I'll replace it with a new one, a new protector soon. Let's turn the scooter on. You can see here we have power. There's an up arrow, a down arrow, and mode. Let's power it up by pressing the power button. I'm going to press the enter because my passcode at this time is zeros. Until I set a passcode of my preference. Now I'm going to hold the enter to enter the menu. I waited too long. Okay, let's start over. So I'm going to go to, let's see, what's it asking me? Take care this operation will clean all the trip odometer, trip information. I don't want to do that, so I'll say off. Okay, let's turn it off again. So right when it turns on, I'm going to press and hold the mode button, and that'll get us into the menu. One thing I'm not sure of is if you can enter the menu with the passcode turned off. So I went right into the password, let me show you. The first thing I did was I went to password and I turned on greeting and I turned on advanced settings. I did not turn on alarm, so that remained off. So once the greeting and the advanced setting were turned on, the default was all zeros, and then I went ahead and entered into the menu. So once you turn the password on, then you'll have to find out for yourself if that's necessary to access the advanced settings. I just did it because I had read somewhere that that was required for the older model scooter. I don't know about this one. So I just did it anyway. Let's go to advanced settings. Okay, I'm just pressing the enter button. As you can see, the mode. Let's see if that says mode. I think it says mode. Let's double check. Yeah, it says mode. So I'm pressing the mode button. Okay, now it's asking us questions such as, okay, it's asking wheel diameter, speed limitation, magnets, analog braking. I think the analog braking is when it pulses the brake. I don't want that on. Kickstart is off. Cruise control is on manual. And on the Wolf King GT Pro, that meant holding down on the Wolf King GT Pro, there was a minus and a plus button. Now there's a up and down button. So I'd have to see if holding this one, the bottom button, is the one that activates the cruise control. I'll have to test that. When it's on manual, I mean. If it's on auto, then being at a fixed speed for a certain time would activate the cruise control if you want that on. Okay, we have temp protection set at 120. This is how the scooter came, so I'll call that default at 120 Celsius. System voltage 72 volts, which is 72 volts nominal, which is 84 volts when fully charged. And you'll see that on the top left corner. It's at 83.6 volts. Low voltage, it means low voltage cutoff. That means at 58 volts. When that voltage, that 83.6 volts, when that goes down to 58 volts, that's when the scooter will turn itself off to protect the battery from discharging dangerously low. It will not allow it to happen. Okay, let's go here. This is our assistant mode. And I'm just, when I enter something, I press mode. That enters, that selects these. So right now, so I'm going to enter that, and then I'm going to press the down arrow. I'm calling it down. This is the one nearest me. That's the one furthest me. I'll see that's the up arrow, and this is the down arrow. So I'll press the down arrow to the level 1. Now here, everything's at default where it came. The only thing I changed was the electronic ABS. Now that, as I understand it, is just the electric brakes. I can't imagine why anyone would not want that on. I know some people turn it off. They put it to 1. I mean, you cannot turn it off, but if you put it on 1, that's the lowest. I don't even know if you'll feel anything. It'll just be the regular brakes, the regular hydraulic brakes working. But when it's turned up to 5, that's where I like it, I can pull the brake lever, just barely pull it without even pressurizing the hydraulic brake fluid, just enough to turn the brake light on, right? When that's activated, when the brake light's turned on, at the same time the controllers turn the motors into generators, and when you're slowing down, it puts a little bit of power back into the battery. But to me, most relevantly and most importantly, it slows the scooter down without using the brake pads, without wearing the brake pads out, which I like. I like that a lot. I like low maintenance. So minimal maintenance, low maintenance. And if I can make my brake pads last thousands of miles, I prefer that. So the rest of the settings I'm going to leave where they are for the moment. I actually don't know if I changed, I may have changed this too, the acceleration. That may have started, this is level 1. That may have been at 1 when I first received the scooter, purchased it new. And the way to change that, I'll go ahead and go through that with you. So let's go down to, and this is front motor and rear motor, right? So let's go here, I'll press mode to select. And then level 2 is how fast it'll accelerate, right? Front motor acceleration. You can actually have the front motor and the back motor accelerate with different strengths, different speeds. I'm having those match right now. And 1 is accelerates so slow on the Wolf King GT Pro, and I imagine this scooter might be similar, that when I would push the throttle all the way, it would actually sit there for like 2 seconds and then start to just roll. I don't need that slow of acceleration, so I put it on 2, which is closer to a normal. It just goes when you push it, but it won't take off real fast, but it does accelerate. That's where I'm going to leave that. So so to save your settings, we always have to exit everything. This is what I was taught. Okay, so let's go back to exit and then go down, select, and then that's also at level 2 for acceleration. Okay, so that's the way that I programmed this, is I just changed the electronic ABS, which is just electric brakes. There's a difference between electric braking, which just is a constant slowing down of the scooter, versus the pulsing braking, which I don't use the pulsing braking. That's a different setting. But this setting that we've looked at now is the constant electronic braking, which you can turn off or real low by putting it at level 1, level 5 being the strongest. And I prefer that one. I like the feel of electric brakes. Although when you pull it, it doesn't stop instantly. You pull it and it hesitates for a moment and then slows down. So it takes planning ahead. But if you have to stop in an emergency, you can just pull the brake and the hydraulic brakes will immediately stop you. And always be careful when you're using your brakes. You don't want to go flying over the handlebars because the brakes work very, very powerfully. Okay. So let's go ahead and exit by pressing mode on exit, and then I'm going to exit again, and then I'm going to go up to exit again, and then I'm going to go all the the way up to exit again, and now we're completely exited. Now I think P, and you'll have to confirm this for yourself, I think that just means it's defaulted to my, it saved my previous setting, which the light stayed on because I had it on when I turned the scooter off, and whatever setting I was in, I think it saved that. And I'm still learning. I haven't ridden the scooter yet. I just purchased it and I just been setting it up. I put the bag on. I adjusted all this to my preference. I put a thumb throttle on, which was just, you cannot see the wires at the moment, but if you look here, one wire from this display goes to the controller, and then this other wire goes down. Now this wire does not go to anything, and now I unplugged it. But where this wire did plug in, the thumb throttle now plugs in. So that thumb throttle was purchased from Voro Motors in Panorama City, California, where the scooter was purchased. And I do highly recommend Voro Motors, and I recommend building a relationship with them because that's the place you're going to want to go to get your servicing done, and they have a large variety of scooters there. And I feel that this scooter by far is the finest. It handles so well. So many people will go in Voro Motors thinking they want a certain scooter, and they test ride different scooters, and a lot of them end up, or almost all of them end up getting this scooter because of the way of the ride stability. When you ride the scooter and you see how stable it is, it's indescribable. It's hard to describe. The scooter wants to stay up. It's almost like it's riding for you, like it's doing the work. With that said, if you hit a pothole in the ground, I've seen holes very deep that are even more than 1 foot deep, just holes in the ground where the dirt washes away underneath the cement. That would cause a scooter like this to crash. And someone told me a story about how they bent both forks here on a Wolf King GT Pro, and they said they didn't get hurt, but they bent both of these and they replaced it themselves. And this part did not get damaged, which was really great. That just shows the durability of this. All they had to change was this part down here. But there is holes in the road, and you have to watch for those. But I will say that the handling of the scooter was what helped me to decide without any doubt at all to buy this scooter. And then once I rode the scooter, I understood what everybody was talking about. I did not understand what people were talking about before I bought the scooter. Anyway, I wanted to share a little bit about the way the display works on this scooter in this video. And I'm still learning, so there's still a lot to learn. I would like to figure out if I could make the hours to be on the regular time, on a 12-hour time scale. I don't know if it'll do that because let's see what happens. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it off and see if I can change the time again. So I'm pressing the mode button. Now I'm going to hold the mode button to enter the menu. Now I'm going to go down, the down arrow, and go to set time. Now let's see, it says press up or down to change the parameter. Press M to confirm selection. Okay, well, let me see, which way should we go on this? If I go up and then go over and then go, oh, I need to know what time it is. Let me see what time it is. Okay, right now it's 3:27, so we're going to say 3:27. Now I'm going to hold the time. Okay. I'll see if that works correctly. Time will tell. Okay, so Yeah, I think we're all set. I'm going to go ahead and exit all the way out. Okay. Okay, everyone, so that's it. This scooter has total, it has 2 miles on it, and that's just from the factory. That's probably testing to make sure everything worked. And so the max speed, I guess, on the testing was 33.9 miles per hour. I haven't ridden this yet, and I'm looking forward to riding it. And I'll share my experience with you. I really like the really thick, durable rotors they use here. I like the new tires they designed, which are for on-road and off-road. I really wanted to get the off-road tires on the Wolf King GT Pro, but the tread was so far apart for dirt that I just couldn't use that on. I wasn't comfortable using that on the street, so I just didn't. I just went with the street tire. But when I saw this on the Wolf King GTR, I was really excited about this, and I'm looking forward to running this tire. And my favorite thing about the tire, well, I like the tire a lot, but I also like that it's a self-sealing, self-healing tire. It's very important when you buy tires for your scooter that you locate self-sealing, self-healing tires. And companies that sell the self-healing, self-sealing tires also will sometimes carry the older tires that didn't have that gel lining. I'm calling it a gel. It's a non-liquid, very sticky and very thick lining that goes along the inside of the tire. And that, when you get a nail, you pull it out and the gel just closes instantly and there's no leak. On my Wolf King GT Pro, after riding the scooter for hundreds of miles, not even looking at the tires, but I would feel them to see how the air was. I checked the air pressure before each ride, and that's very important. I just push on it with my thumb to make sure that it has good air pressure in it. But when I checked the tire and I just rolled the scooter, checking the tire one day, I found that I had 10 different nails and pieces of glass and just different things that had punctured the tire. I pulled everything out one at a time, and the not 1 pound of air was lost. No air was lost, and the tire was still good. Even though it had those little holes in it, it didn't leak. So I prefer the self-sealing, self-healing gel that's in the lining. I'm calling it a lining that lines the inside of the tire. I prefer that over putting a tire plug, even though that could still be used. But it's kind of the same material. That really sticky tire plug, that stickiness part is like what that lining is. The whole lining is, imagine that sticky material, but really thick, like a 1/4 inch or a 1/2 inch thick, or between those two measurements, and then lining the width of the tire and even a little bit along the sides to some degree, and then also the entire, all the way around the tire on the outside of it, with this part that touches the ground. And I think that's a really, really good invention, and congratulations to all the companies that are giving that choice to scooter riders. And I think that when you're getting into riding scooters, it's easy to not think of that and to not know about it. And with words can be very tricky, because I've read ads for scooters where I'm reading the ad and they're telling me it has like anti-puncture tires, but it doesn't say self-sealing, self-healing tires. Anti-puncture might mean it's a thicker tire, but if a nail is put into it and pulled out, it will leak air. It just might resist a little bit more than what? I don't know, previous models of that same tire. I don't really know what, is there a standard? I mean, to me, the standard is self-sealing, self-healing, that non-liquid adhesive, if we call it that, or gel. That's like an industry standard. I think it's the best you can get. There are some really, really good, I'll call them honeycomb tires, that are solid rubber tires that have those air pockets in there, but it's not air pressure. It's just no rubber inside of, there's like chambers of air, but it's not pressurized. So those are like solid rubber tires. You can't get a flat, but they have air chambers inside so that they can still move when you're riding the scooter. And I haven't seen them for this size tire yet. I hope someone makes them. And even if they cost a lot more, I would be happy to buy that tire, because even though this is a really good technology, the self-sealing, self-healing, I still like the solid tire when it feels like a air pressurized tire, when it has the same feel. I still prefer that, and I have felt it on scooters before. Now, some people, when they think of solid tires, they think of the rock hard tires that just almost hurt or do hurt when you ride the scooter. I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about, I'll have to make some videos on it, because I've seen some tires on scooters that where I've ridden the tire with the air tire in it, and then the person switched over to the honeycomb tires, and it felt exactly the same. And this is with a scooter that did not have suspension on it. I was amazed. So it can be done. It's been done. And it can be done for tires like this size too. And it may cost a lot, but for myself, I feel like it's worth it. Okay, everyone, I'm going to end this video now, and I hope that this video was helpful to you in some way. Okay, have a great day. Bye.